In this video, we will prove A and B of Corollary 2 from the replacement theorem. To understand the theorem, let V equals to R2 is a vector space. So, V equals to R2 is a vector space and dimension for this vector space is 2, because if you consider any basis for this vector space, that basis should have exactly 2 vectors. Now, if we consider 3 subset for this vector space V equals to R2, so there are 3 subset I am considering. So, S1 consists only one vector. So, inside S1 we have only one vector. So, only one vector. Similarly, S2 has 2 vectors, S3 has 3 vectors. Now, S1 does not generate the vector space V equals to R2, but S2 generate the vector space V equals to R2. Also, S3 generate the vector space V equals to R2. So, did you see the number of vectors of S2 is 2, the number of vector in S3 is 3. So, the number of vectors of a generating set would be always more than or equals to dimension of the vector space V. It said that thing, any finite generating set of an n-dimensional vector space contains at least n vectors. So, both S2 and S3 are generating set and they contains at least 2 vectors for this one. And a generating set for V that contains exactly n vectors is a basis for V. So, both S2 and S3 are generating set, but if a generating set consists exactly same number of vectors as the dimension, then that would be basis. So, here S2 consists 2 vectors same as dimension of the vector space V. So, this would be a basis. So, S2 is a basis, but S3 is not. It said that thing. So, to prove that, let beta be a basis for the vector space V, and we need to consider a generating set. So, G be a finite generating set for V. Now, we know that every finite generating set contains a subset that is a basis. So, let H be a subset of the generating set, and H is a basis because it is a subset that is a basis. Since H is a basis, so it contains exactly same number of vectors as dimension of the vector space V. So, dimension is n, so H contains n vectors. Now, since H is a subset of G and H contains n vectors, so the number of vectors in G should be at least n vectors. So, at least n vectors. We are done for the first part. Now, if a generating set contains exactly n vectors, then we want to prove that is a basis for V. So, let G contains exactly n vectors. Now, since H subset of Z and both have n vectors, because H has n vectors, G also has n vectors. So, we must have H equals to Z. Now, since H is a basis for V and H equals to Z, so Z is also a basis for the vector space V. So, we are also done for second part. Now, we can come for B. So, again here we have 3 set S1, S2, S3. S1 is linearly independent, S2 is linearly independent, but S3 is not. So, S1 has 1 vector, S2 has 2 vector. So, the number of vectors of a linearly independent set should be at most the dimension of the vector space V. So, it said any finite linearly independent subset of an n-dimensional vector space V contains at most n vectors. So, here at most 2 vectors, because if 3 vectors, then that is not linearly independent. Here S1 and S2 only linearly independent. Now, for second part, it said a linearly independent subset of V that contains exactly n vectors is a basis for V. So, S1 is linearly independent, S2 is also linearly independent, but S1 contains only 1 vector and S2 contains 2 vectors, the same number of vectors as dimension. So, only S2 is a basis, S1 is not. So it said the same thing. Now to prove that, again let beta be a basis for V and L be a linearly independent subset of the vector space V. Now since beta is a basis and to be a basis, it need to generate the vector space V, because to be a basis it should have two properties. It should generate the vector space V and it should be linearly independent. So since beta generate V and contains exactly n vectors, because beta is a basis, so it will contains exactly same number of vectors as the dimension of the vector space. Now by the replacement theorem, the number of vectors in L cannot exceed n, because the replacement theorem said the number of vectors of a linearly independent set cannot exceed the number of vectors of a generating set. That's actually the replacement theorem. So the number of vectors in L cannot exceed n. Thus L contains at most n vectors. Now if you consider L contains exactly n vectors and we want to prove L is a basis for the vector space V. Now if L contains exactly n vectors, then by the replacement theorem there is a subset H of the generating set beta that contains n minus that number of vectors. So n minus n, that is 0 vectors, such that H union the L generate the vector space V. So how many vectors H will contain? H will contain only 0 vectors. So since H contains only 0 vector, so H is the empty set. And if you take the union H union L, H union L, that would be only L. So L equals to that one. So L generates the vector space V, and we also assume L is linearly independent. So since L is linearly independent and L generates the vector space V, we can conclude that L is a basis for the vector space V. So we are also done for the second part. So that's it. Thanks for watching.